Hello, I'm Christian from My Mindful Guru, and in this video I'm going to explain to you exactly how I can help you to transcend the mind and overcome your own psychological suffering to live life peacefully, joyfully and with exuberance. Stay tuned. You've probably seen the many apps and web-based platforms available for learning meditation, and they'll all tell you that you're going to become more relaxed, you're going to be calmer, you're going to be less reactive. And the thing is, all of those things are nice, but they're all side effects of meditation. There is no purpose to meditation. And if we approach guided meditations, maybe we're listening on YouTube or through our app, if we approach our meditation trying to become calmer, trying to become more still, then the opposite happens. We might initially find ourselves feeling a bit more relaxed in the body, but we will not achieve this thing that we are interested in, which is a consciousness awakening. At My Mindful Guru, we can teach you how to have this conscious awakening. A conscious awakening is when we dissociate from the two traps that are presented to us as humans on this planet. Trap number one is the belief that we are the body, and trap number two is the belief that we are the mind. This one being the biggest problem. This is where we have an identity, a belief system, indoctrinated thought, knee-jerk thoughts and reactions to what happens in life. Many people lie awake at night, they can't fall asleep because the mind is thinking. There is a way round this, okay? There is a way round not being so reactive in life. The third aspect of your very being is what I call conscious awareness, your true conscious intelligent self. Now, we can reach that state and we can identify as this conscious alertness, this conscious awareness, when we understand that we are not the body and we are not the mind. So it doesn't matter how relaxed we feel when we feel that we are meditating, there is a particular path, a well-trodden path and technologies that we can use, yogic and meditative technologies, to wake up out of psychological suffering. But unfortunately, many of the westernized apps and web-based platforms are talking about something like relaxation, something about calmness, and although these things might be nice, those experiences are transient and fleeting. What we want is a long-term stillness and equanimity. This is what we will teach you at My Mindful Guru. Now, we must understand that the person you choose to teach you something as important as consciousness cultivating practices, this person must have experienced a conscious awakening themselves. I have been fortunate enough, after spending a very intense period of time in the Amazon jungle in meditation, I was fortunate enough to, upon arriving home, experience what many people call a conscious awakening or a spiritual awakening. What that means is I no longer identify with thoughts. I no longer believe every thought that comes into my mind, and I no longer think that I am the thinking mind or the body. We understand that the body and the mind are accumulations, but the one constancy which sits behind the body and the mind, and we know this because it can observe them through technique, we know that we are that which can observe all else. So it is very important that the person teaching you these techniques has had this experience. How do you know if they've had this experience? When they talk to you and they respond to you, you will be able to see that this is the right person to teach you. This has to be something that you feel. No, it's not something that you can think about. It has to be something that you can feel. And you will know when you meet the right person who can take you on this journey. My background is in psychology, but after spending some time teaching mindfulness, among other things, in the NHS, that's the National Health Service in the UK, I realized that mindfulness had been subverted and westernized and changed from its original Eastern meaning. And I felt uncomfortable watching psychologists and mental health workers teach something like mindfulness and a spiritual practice, teach it as a trick or a technique for feeling calmer and for feeling more relaxed, what I realized is that none of the people teaching these mindful techniques had experienced true mindfulness themselves, and they were still drinking alcohol, you know, going to parties and overindulging, and had coping mechanisms outside of work, and still felt stress, worry, fear, anxiety, all of the things that poof disappear when we understand the practice of samadhi, the practice of mindfulness, the practice of yoga, the true technology and the fundamentals behind this thing which can only be experienced. So in my over 10 years of teaching mindfulness, I now very much understand that in this culture, the blind perhaps are leading the blind, and it is very, very important that you pick the right guide and someone who has at least been there so that you get the right direction. So the way each video chat session is run is that we have a conversation, we find out a little bit about how you are feeling at this point in your life, and that helps me to understand which techniques might be best suited to you. Sometimes it's helpful because of my ability to see things veridically, to see things as they really are. Sometimes it's helpful to ask many questions, and sometimes I can offer guidance, conceptual guidance. So there is a period of two-way and collaborative conversation so that we can understand the fundamentals. We can't just jump in and start with the meditation, because so many people feel thrown by this, and they will sit there thinking, am I doing the right thing? And all these questions will come up. So we will cover all of the theory of the technology and the science behind it first. We will discuss many things, anything that you're interested in, from the diet, the practices, the postures, everything that you can think of in relation to a conscious awakening. What we will also do is my own specifically devised strategies for meditation. One of those strategies will be the strategy that I used for my spiritual awakening, which I like to call inviting the sound. So we use different sound frequencies and we learn how to invite them into the energy body to awaken energy centers that we can feel. We can actually feel the awakening happening. It is quite tremendous to feel these sensations in the body. No belief required. Even after just a couple of weeks of practice, you will be able to feel sensations. Maybe after the first practice, many people can feel particular sensations in the body. So you don't have to believe a word I say. You can just sit, try the practice, and if you start feeling the change, then you will know that this is the right path for you. If you are watching this video at mymindfulguru.com, if you look to the top of the page and click the contact form, it will send me a message and we can book a free taster chat if you want to find out a little bit more information or find out more about me and the service. Or if you're on social media watching this video, if you drop me a message on social media, I will be in touch and we will get that first session booked in. And I really look forward to speaking to you and helping you on this journey. It's definitely worth it.